Alright, so we've almost got the engine ready to put back in. As you can see, I made a hanger, kind of a T-shaped hanger back here. There's two good sized bolts at the back of the head that you can screw into. So I've just screwed into these two. I've got a piece of strap. There's a few washers on the back side I welded to it to space it out because there's a little bit of interference with a few things, so we come back a little bit. I have my T-strap up, just a hole drilled in it. I've got my leveler bolted to it. I've got the wiring harness roughly set in place just because a lot of this wiring harness runs down where it's hard to get to. As you can see, it runs all back around the transmission here and plugs into everything. So I've already gotten that installed. I like putting the engine in with the transmission and transfer case attached because it saves you a lot of trouble later of trying to get the transmission installed and then get this wiring harness in the correct place from underneath the vehicle. It's harder to install the engine and transmission together into the vehicle. There's a lot more weight. You have to have a pretty big angle to go down into the vehicle and then kind of level it out. That's where this leveler helps. Having a transmission jack helps to roll it back and slide it back. But hey, I've got a pretty complete assembly here, so once I've got it in place, the hookup becomes a lot easier. So I can get a lot of stuff already on it and ready to go, including my wiring harness is just sitting here, ready to plug into the vehicle. So definitely does get a little bit easier when you've got more stuff like this already on it when you get it in. So again, personal preference, I like doing it this way. Got a few more things to put on. Probably do the turbo intake accordion tube. It's a little easier to get to now. I'll do the radiator hoses later, power steering hoses later. AC lines I may or may not do right now. I still need to get the battery and starter cables on, dangling off to the side. And I'll do the fuel return hoses, and then the supply, that little manifold thing, which is kind of fragile and delicate. I'll do that after I get in the vehicle just so I don't break it. But the annoying hard stuff, the transmission hookup, all that is already all done and in place, and transmission's bolted together. Alright, a few more things to put on, and then a mess of a garage to clean up and try to get this installed.